How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about MMAT metamaterials. I was talking about yesterday that we want to see MMAT finish above $3.50, and look what we ended up getting today. Things ended up coming together. I like that. But I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We want to take a look at the overall price action. We want to know support and we want to know resistance. Like I was saying in my previous video, there are certain levels that we look out for, because if we can hit those levels, we could see some more momentum. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. Does MMAT continue to have short squeeze potential? We're going to find out. And then we're going to be checking out the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on shares today? We can notice this from the large scale orders, and we're going to go over that. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for metamaterials. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.57, being up 6.57%. On the low, it tested $3.33, and then on the high, testing $3.64. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 14.405 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 11.551 million shares. So we had above average volume, so we ended up seeing some strength inside of metamaterials today. The chart we're using is a 1-year daily chart. We take a look at the RSI down below. It is right around 48.35. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here, we are below the 100-day. We are below the 200-day. But of course, we have came back to reclaim and have momentum above the 21-day EMA. If you guys remember from yesterday, I was saying it's good idea for MMAT to finish above $3.50, and we closed at $3.57. So you guys see why we do this in the first place. But anyways, so what you want to look forward to going into tomorrow is continued momentum where we can start testing here right under the 200-day at $3.93. Of course, we're going to have to pass the resistance we had at 364 on the day. And you know what? If we have momentum and there's a lot of buying, no doubt in my mind, we should be able to come to the 200-day. And if we do end up being rejected, of course, you're going to want to see a finish that is staying above where we closed at $3.57. So if it does decide to pull back, one thing that we saw on the day, $3.33 was a pretty solid area of support. So we want to see a continuation of that. But to be exactly clear here, we want to see $3.20 hold if it decides to pull back tomorrow. Keep an eye on other meme type of stocks, because again, MMAT ended up running throughout this particular period, and it could definitely serve, and the way how it looks actually, as being a sympathy play. But for the most part, this is great for anyone who's inside of this play and you're looking to trade off the momentum. So we're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for MMAT metamaterials. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we see the recent filings for the 24th, we have BlackRock that went in with just over 7,000 shares. And we also have BlackRock going in again with their Advantage Small Cap Growth Fund going in with 25,203 shares. And then we also have Bright House Funds Trust with a filing of 23,010 shares as well. And as well, we have Fidelity here at 13,227. So we are seeing the institutional activity here, which is good to see. Now, as far as for the short interest is concerned, we have the short shares availability at 7,000 updated 20 minutes ago. And for the short ball free rate, it is at 2.66%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, you can see for the close of the 20th, it was at 52.59. And now the close for yesterday, it was at 43.59. 5.2. So this is actually really good to see, and this is the lowest it has been within this period, going as far back as August the 10th, which is great to see. It shows us, hey, as far as shorts are concerned, there's not as many vested inside of this play, which means as far as for the market sentiment for metamaterials, it's definitely having a lot better outlook. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for MMAT. So we can see on the inflow is at 9,018, and then on the outflow it was 11,944. So we ended up having an outflow day. So we could see here on the inflow side, on the large it was 224, on the medium it was 5,584, and then on the small it was at 3,211. When we take a look at the outflow side, on the large it's at 327, and then on the medium it's at 7,438, and then on the small it's at 4,179. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see it was an outflow day today. It was an outflow day yesterday on the 23rd, and we had an outflow day as well on the 19th. So taking this into consideration, there's definitely been a lot of selling on the institutional side. Of course, they're definitely taking profits in this particular scenario, especially when MMAT has those run-ups. Also, what we are noticing of the fact, if they get out of their positions, and we also have a lot of buying going on the other end in regards to small and as well as medium scale orders, then of course, if there's also a lot of people who are holding, we could see some moves to the upside with MMAT. And of course, if shorts are covering their positions, we could see that even more as far as appreciation in the stock price. But let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for MMAT metamaterials, when we went on Fintel, we could see from the short interest information, it has been improving, I must say. So what this means is, as far as for the overall market sentiment, it is a lot more positive for metamaterials. Another thing is, when we see shorts are not as heavily invested and it's going down, not only does it mean that it's covering their positions, they don't see any more downside opportunities and make money off of their positions. But we also have to keep in mind, due to the fact it is gaining some steam and momentum, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to come back into the play. So that's just one thing I want you to make sure you're aware of. But if we have a lot of volume coming through this stock, we could easily fix that. Of course, you're seeing a lot of meme stocks that also ran up today, and I feel like MMAT could actually benefit from this because everything happened right around the same time. So if we end up having that trend continue, especially for these stocks as this week progresses, then I would not be shocked if we see MMAT actually get into the $4 range. I am not calling that out right now, but it would be great to see, and you guys know I want to see it hold 350, and if it does decide to pull back going into tomorrow, the support that I want to see hold is around the mid $3.30 range. So with all that said, let's see what happens. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.